free mobile app. WSKO, Syracuse. A Cumulus media station. The voice of the Central New York sports fan. The Score, 1260. Welcome to your home for local sports in Syracuse. Outside the Box Score with Mark Rowlands starts right now.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Outside the Box Score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260. He's back.
As always.
Batman is back, as they've been calling you in the chat.
I see your post, Jim. I know. Batman, very funny. I mean, this is a serious thing. I mean, I got a half a mind to name that landlord out on air and get people to call in and get her abused. Hey, I hate that lady. There's bats. They run amok, Mark.
Would you like to, you don't have to if you don't want, but would you like to give a recap to the people?
The long and short of it, I'll make this as short as possible. We had one bat at first.
Yes.
You know what? One bat. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, whatever. One bat. You get rid of one bat. I'm a man. I can deal with that. When there are bats in every wall of your house, sometimes a man has to say to himself, I'm not a man, and I can't live surrounded by bats, by, quote, dozens of bats.
Many bats.
In the walls, in my attic. I can't do it, and so yeah, I'm out. I'm back. I'm a full-time Syracuse resident now. We're moving one step closer to Rochester.
Yep.
I'll be back at some point, and, you know, at this rate, it's, what is that, probably in 4 years.
Yep.
So who knows? But for now, should get me a lot more. It's a lot of settling in. I'm living with my potential in-laws at this point.
Yep.
Yeah, which is fun. Most people, everyone I tell that to is like, "Yes, I hear you, buddy." And I'm like, honestly, I could do this for a while.
You were just telling me you're watching shows with the mom. You're watching bowling with pops. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I'm a man of many talents here.
Yeah.
So I can fit in with just about anyone. So, yeah, it's been fine for me, but I do have an apartment at the end of the month, kind of, and, yeah, it's fine. It's good.
Yeah, I mean,
no rent, no meals really I have to pay for either.
Yeah.
I mean, Pops, they treat me great. They treat me like a guest still. I'm like, this is fantastic.
Well, here's the thing is
they have laundry in their house. I mean, that's crazy. I don't have to go to a laundromat. They got a real
People
house.
have laundry in their house? And Italian.
Oh,
so
yeah. Sunday dinners.
Yeah, I was going to say, you get the Sunday sauce, you get it all. I mean, it's,
you ask what's for dinner on Sunday, and it's just either pasta or pizza.
Yeah.
Every time. And it's great.
Yeah,
I love it.
Perfect.
It's bad for my diet.
Oh, sure.
But, I mean, last week we had some bolognese. Rigatoni bolognese. I mean,
excellent.
I'll take that. Thanks, Pat.
I mean, you've been you've been in a weight loss competition with some other friends of ours.
Which...
And
yeah.
I don't want to say it's a bad thing.
No.
But also potentially led to you getting the gout.
Yeah, I have gout now as well. I mean, you know, the people like to chirp me. It's been a hell of a couple weeks here, Jim, okay? I'm trying to make it, but guess what? On some Saturdays, you know, maybe you're moving out of your apartment with the bats. Maybe you're dealing with what feels like a broken foot. And so last week, I just needed to watch every basketball game in Rochester. That's what I needed. So I needed a day. After what's been a rough couple weeks for Josh.
Yeah. It's certainly been a rough couple of weeks for you, but glad to have you back.
Yes.
Glad you're feeling better. Glad you were able to get that relaxation time.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned the tournament going on in full swing, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Had Sweet 16 Thursday and Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Going into the Elite Eight.
Yep.
How do you feel? Like, how's your bracket doing, first of all?
The bracket is mostly dead. I mean, the Elite Eight ended up being my Elite Eight, I think.
Really?
Well, no. That's not true, actually. Gonzaga.
Oh,
Gonzaga.
okay.
So, but outside of that, everything else, I basically just did chalk. So it was fine. Worked out great. I had Tech beating the Johnnies. So but my bracket got hurt early on due to a couple of risky Sweet 16s. But, Mark, the reality was that there was just no madness this year.
I have the worst bracket I have ever had. You know how they give you the percentage on the ESPN Tournament Challenge?
Oh, boy. Yeah.
You know what my percentage is, Josh?
31?
20.4.
Oh, Marky. Do you even have the winners left? Do you have your championship game still?
Yes, I have Auburn.
Jesus.
It is, and the wild thing is, like, so I went upset heavy this year.
Yeah.
Like, my Elite Eight is just it's dead. I had Auburn, like I
Okay.
said, they're my champion, over Ole Miss.
Okay. So yeah.
I had Memphis over St. John's, where Florida
Christ.
Texas Tech is.
Oh my.
I had Wisconsin over Arizona in the Duke Bama game.
You had Duke losing?
Yeah, I had Duke out in the Sweet 16.
Oh.
Yeah, I had Arizona beating them.
Yeah. Okay.
And,
Yeah.
And I've got Houston, so
Okay.
they're left. I've got 2 teams left.
Houston, Tennessee. Oh no, you don't even have Tennessee.
No, I had Kentucky.
Okay, but two of them you had them losing. Did
Yes.
you have them? Did you have that right Sweet 16 matchup
Yes.
at least?
Yeah,
Ole Miss
so-
beating Sparty and the.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I had Kentucky over Tennessee in my Sweet 16.
Okay.
I did have Houston winning in the Sweet 16, but I had them beating McNeese. I thought McNeese
Yep.
was going to knock out Purdue because
had
Purdue
that.
were frauds.
Purdue probably should have won that game last night.
Yeah, probably should have. In the I had Bama out early because I thought they were going to not play defense.
Mhm.
So I had St. Mary's beating Bama in the round of 32. That didn't happen. I also had Wisconsin beating BYU.
Yep.
So
I had that.
didn't happen either. So Bama has ruined
The
my
mayhem
bracket.
that I predicted only led up to the Sweet 16, luckily. So that's why I still end up with 7 out of 8 Elite Eights. So I'm happy there.
Yeah, I've got 2. It's not good.
I feel great. I mean, this is the most confident I feel talking about college basketball since last year's tournament because I just watch every game.
Yeah.
I devote myself to every game, and it's fantastic. I can't imagine a world where I get a job where I'm important enough to not take off Thursday and Friday the first week because that's what I did.
And, like, the thing is, so we were talking about it before the show.
Yeah.
In terms of bracket, I'm terrible.
Yeah.
Gambling's been off the charts.
So you'll bet against the bracket.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. Okay. as you should.
100%.
Yep.
Because here's the thing about making a bracket. First of all, it's all luck.
Yep.
It's 100% luck, and
Sure.
You can't convince me otherwise. You don't really have enough time
Mhm.
to, like, you have like 3 days to make the bracket.
Yeah.
Where to put in the necessary research and everything that
For a normal human who has other responsibilities.
exactly, you just don't have enough time. So the bracket for me is like, that's why I don't get in like paid bracket groups and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Really, I just do it for fun because it's just I'm not going to put in the time to actually care about. I'm picking the games. My bracket takes about 10 minutes.
Yep.
Like, I'm just picking games based on my gut at that time.
Yep.
And then once the spread comes out and I can actually like look at things, I'm like, okay, now I can do this.
That's where like I'm gonna be against my bracket even I think in the Elite Eight matchups as I
Mhm.
look onto it. Like I had Auburn's my champion winner, and I think I've turned. I like Sparty now.
Yeah.
I like Sparty, and the one thing that's really become apparent to me as a person who I didn't know much about Duke. I mean, other than they're in Syracuse, so I've seen them.
Yeah.
And they were great, obviously, throughout the regular season. I was like, yeah, I mean, Duke's pretty good. I guess they'll make the championship game because I thought their road was pretty easy
Mhm.
until Bama, until this game. But I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess Duke. Now I am fully on the Duke bandwagon.
Oh yeah,
I
they're
can't see
really
a-
good.
I can't see a world where Duke doesn't win at all.
Yeah.
Duke, I found a stat the other day that Duke is the second highest ranked Ken Pom team, not in the last 10 years, not in the last 15 years, of all time.
Wow.
Since Ken Pom has been around to do a thing, they're
Mhm.
the second highest rated analytics team by that match.
Holy
whatever
cow.
you use. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
And they play Bama today with a total that opened at 172.
174.5 right now.
That's why you get it early.
That's why you get it early. Also, over.
Yeah, I thought it was going to go way up, but I don't know why. I mean,
yeah,
Duke can score.
So because I started out really hot with
Yep.
the dogs.
Oh, yeah. Barking.
Round of 64,
Mhm.
I had McNeese, I had Drake,
Yeah.
I took Colorado State live at plus money, and I had who was the other
The big dog.
yeah. Oh, New Mexico.
Mm.
And so I bet those 4 all at plus money.
Yep.
And just bang, 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 bang. Bama over in the first round, Bama under in the second round. For the first time ever, I bet a Bama under, and it hit against St. Mary's. So the gambling's been red hot, but the bracket is just it's in shambles. Like I said, it is the worst one by far I've ever done.
I'm interested to see where I'm at because after the first day, again, I had like kind of those. I picked McNeese, but then I had a couple other like dogs that I picked to win 2 games to make the Sweet 16. So I think I had like 3 or 4 teams who were like 10 seeds and higher to make it there.
Yeah.
One of them being Arkansas, so that was nice.
Oh,
but the other
nice,
ones were like, I mean, Jesus, who lost in the first? I think I liked who did Iowa State play? Lipscomb.
Yeah,
Lipscomb was one. I mean, what the hell am I thinking? Like you look back and you're like, Lipscomb, they got blown out. But stuff like that. So my percentage, I still had a high potential points. I'm interested to see actually where I am in those ones now that I still have 7 of 8.
I'm just banking on Auburn over Houston. That's just that's all I got left.
Mark, I have rooted for Houston to lose. So we're doing separately too. There's like this, so you know, survivor pools for the NFL.
Yeah,
we found one through a buddy of ours that does one with the tournament. So you pick a team every day of the tournament.
That's fun.
You can't use the same team, obviously. And we kind of tried to split it up. Some might call this cheating, but we got 5 brackets or 5 people to get in. You can get 2 entries. So we had 10 entries of the total 400.
Yeah.
But the first day, we all picked Houston because we all didn't like Houston to go deep. We thought Gonzaga might be the ones. So we're like, just get rid of them because nobody's going to use them. Okay. Second day, we picked Kentucky. All of us. So now we've all we're dead in that region. It's coming back to haunt. We still have a couple chances. We still have 6 entries alive at this point in time with 120 people left. So we still have a decent chance. But we need some mayhem to happen. I've been rooting against Houston every goddamn game this tournament, and I need Houston to die. I mean, there was the potential for nightmare situation if Kentucky had won last night.
Yeah.
First off, we would have been out with some Tennessees, but then Houston, Kentucky, we don't have those people.
Yeah.
I put Purdue in one of the entries last night because we just needed to happen.
Yeah.
So it's been very fun, that side of things, and splitting it up and the game theory of that. I mean, we could talk for hours about that crap. But what a fun thing to do.
That is fun. I like shout out Steve's. They do every year a bracket challenge that you buy into. I think it's $100.
Okay.
On the spread.
What is it? What do you mean?
So you get you pick a team.
Okay.
And they don't have to win. They just have to cover.
So you get randomly assigned a team?
No, you pick the team. Or it might be random. It might be random. But so it starts in the round of 64. If your team covers, you get to take over someone else's team.
Oh.
And so you can end up with like 5 teams at the end.
Yeah, so even if you got like a 16 or something trash, but they covered by 32, you could then pick the Duke.
Yeah.
Or something. Whatever. Okay.
It's really fun. And so it like you buy in big at at the start, and then it just trickles down so quickly. Like
that's awesome.
It's an elimination challenge.
Until one guy's left. Basically.
Yeah. It's really cool. I've never gotten in it.
Yeah.
But that's one that at some point I would love to get in.
I tried another one this year. Squares.
Yeah.
Every game.
My dad's on a board for the Madness.
I've hit one game. One game I hit.
My dad's hit a couple, I think.
I have garbage numbers.
My dad, he never likes to know his numbers. Neither do I. I don't want to know my numbers. But he accidentally found out that he hit a game. He had 9 and 5.
That's a good number. I like those numbers. See, but how does yours do it? Because ours is winning team, losing team number. Is that the same thing? Like winning team number? Okay. So but like my number was like winning team 1, losing team 3. Or I think so. Or 9 or something like that. And I'm like, 3. And I'm like, so they gotta pretty much blow somebody out or it's tough. It's just a tough number to win by 8 or something. I'm like, ugh. Or 18. I hit one game, but I was like, all right, I made my money back. That's fine.
Yeah.
Who cares? It's just a fun thing. Like, I'm the same way. I'm never rooting for that, right? There's so many other things to care about during the tournament.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, but then the guy texts you. You're like, oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Thanks, Auburn.
That's so boards are fun during March. It's
so many different ways to make money in March.
It's the best gambling time of the year. It's so good.
Truly is. Right into one of the worst gambling times of the year. For some people.
Yeah, I mean,
the dog days.
I love betting on July baseball.
Yeah.
So
and tennis. Tennis is fun.
Tennis and I think college baseball is a great time to gamble as well.
Sure.
Betting on the College World Series is a ton of fun. And softball. I've also dabbled in new women's college softball from time to time.
Are you still a Hogs guy?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Hogs are winning it all.
Woo pig suey, baby.
Woo pig suey.
I'm all with. Love me some Arkansas baseball.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty good this year.
Sure.
And that I've got my annual future on them to win it all. I do it every single year, and I'm disappointed every single year when they get eliminated in the super regionals.
Yeah.
Like last year when they didn't even make it to Omaha. Number 3 team in the country. It was bad. But yeah, so I'm all in on Arkansas baseball. I've been watching. Also all in on St. John's baseball. Shout out my buddy Jed Boyle, their closer. So all in on watching those. I've watched a few games already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are nice midday games, right? Normally?
Yeah, usually it's like an afternoon game. It's nice.
Which is nice.
Jim says also we got the Masters coming up. So that's always
true. I mean, Scotty or bust. What do you think? Is he still in the lead of Houston?
Yeah. He's playing pretty well right now. You know, there's one more tournament before the Masters, the Valero Texas Open, but if he just keeps up his form, it's gonna be hard to bet against him. The one guy that I know I'm going to bet this year.
I have a guy.
Okay, who's your guy?
Minwoo Lee?
No.
Minwoo Lee's my dog.
I do love me some Chef Minwoo. But no, I know I'm going to bet him at Augusta this year, and I know I'm going to be disappointed.
Who dat?
Rory McIlroy is playing some incredible golf right now.
Chasing that green jack.
Yeah, he's going to win the Masters at some point.
Sure.
So if I keep betting him every year,
he can't not win a Masters.
He's definitely going to win the Masters. Jim says, does Mark want anything from Augusta? Yeah, I want it. Are you going, Jim? Oh, yeah, I think Jim is one of the guys, because I know like 5 people that hit the Masters lottery this year.
Really?
I think Jim might be one of them. Yeah. The Burks are going.
Oh, how do they get that? Just random draw?
Yeah, Tommy won the lottery. And
I do. I've done it now for a couple of years.
Jim's going on Wednesday, the par 3 day. That's
a fun day.
Yeah. The Burks are going on Monday.
Okay.
So they get a practice round. But yeah, I enter the lottery every year.
Still just being on the ground instead of Augusta is gonna be great.
Absolutely. And Augusta's funny because it's just off the most inconspicuous road.
Yeah,
There's like a Dollar General across the street from Augusta National. It's hilarious.
There's a thing they offer now too. We thought about that they can basically Augusta sends out like breakfast packages, food packages.
Yeah.
And then we were looking at it. And it was it's a little expensive. It's not like Augusta expensive, but
it's like $70, isn't it?
Ours was like $240, I think. But it's like a full buffet spread.
Yeah, I was thinking of the drink package. They have a drink package as well. That's like $70.
It comes with like sweet tea and stuff or something. And I'm like looking at it. I'm like, can't we just make what's the weird pimento sandwiches? Can we just do that? I'm like, we can just do that.
Yeah,
it's much
pimento
cheaper.
cheese. Yeah.
I don't like pimento cheese, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it.
I think I don't like the pepper. It's too pickly.
Yeah. You gotta love though the prices at the Masters.
Oh yeah.
It's like $1.50 for a sandwich.
They don't need our money.
No, like because they know all the money goes into the pro shop.
Yeah.
Our at Bellevue, our head pro went down last year because if you're a Class A PGA professional, you can just go to the Masters.
Oh. So you just went?
Yeah. So he just went on. It was a practice round day.
Okay.
And I think he went down on Monday or Tuesday, and he spent an ungodly amount of money in the pro shop.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
That's what everyone does. I think the average amount spent in the Augusta Pro Shop is like $1,500.
Yeah, I would say even the money I spent at the PGA Championship Pro Shop when it was in Rochester 2 years ago was like stupid for me. Like,
yeah,
it was like probably close to $450, $500, and that's only buying like 2 or 3 shirts and like a hat or something and some accessories.
That's going to be me at Bethpage in September for the Ryder Cup. We're just, I already know my dad and I are going to buy way too much stuff.
I mean, Ryder Cup. I mean, how do you not?
Yeah, exactly. We do have to take a timeout, so we'll come back. Much more to talk about here on the Score 1260. We'll be back in just a minute. For the best local beer in Central New York, the only place you need to look is Myers Creek Brewing Company, with 16 different beers on tap at both the Inner Harbor in Syracuse and the Palace that is the Cazenovia location. Myers Creek has something for everyone. Want a bite to eat? Both locations feature a kitchen with delicious pizzas, some of the best wings in Syracuse, and much more. Make sure to check out our friends at Myers Creek Brewing Company, the official bar of Outside the Box Score.
Attention, if you...
In Utica. Now I have to go back to Utica.
Oh, you got to go to Utica for your barber? That sucks. Also,
kinda
Jim,
rock
I am a hat guy. I love hats. I have many hats. I just don't wear them
like the
for
Irish,
the show.
the Irish beret.
I do have a flat cap, but
Yeah.
so Jim, if you want to give me a hat from Augusta, I'm not going to say no.
Be a visor guy. Let the lettuce pop out.
No, not a visor guy.
I got a
at all.
visor. I got
Do
a
you?
Mizuno visor.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've seen you wear that. Yeah, I'm not a visor guy.
I like it. Kind of, some days I like just letting the hair pop.
Yeah,
Big afro.
just I don't know. I could never get behind the look of a visor.
We got this is a fun one too on here. We got Junior into gambling.
Oh no.
So he doesn't have anything. He never had anything. He came out Friday with us.
Yeah.
And he was like, because you sit at our table on Friday and everyone's got something on something.
Yeah, everyone's got.
You're
options.
familiar with it.
Yeah.
And so he's like, well, I got to get into this thing. What do I do? And we're like, get on DraftKings. get on DraftKings. And he's like, okay. And he's like, I think I have an account already, so I can't get like free stuff. We had like 8 free bonus bets of $25.
Excellent.
He turned that into like $700.
Did he really?
He hit a 3-legger for $300 on a bonus bet from like 3 teams. It was like Michigan State, Auburn, some other team to all win by 15. Like it was one of those sponsored parlays. Hit it, big money, and he's still rolling it up. He's like, I took $300 out for my car payment. Now he's in it. Now he's just fully in. Every night he gets on, he's like, what are we betting on?
This is a bad idea.
Yeah.
First of all, love Junior to death. Getting him into gambling is a bad idea.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So he's having a great time now. But like every night now, it's almost too much. He just gets in, he goes, what do you guys got? What are we betting? What am I riding?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
His beginner's luck is going to run out very quickly.
He's learned some quick tips. The Gonzaga game, a couple of us had Gonzaga to cover the 5.5. Right before the game, he goes, all right, I'm on Houston -5.5. And we're like, what? We're all watching together. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, I like Houston. I'm like, bet the other side. I'm like, okay, then we're rooting for Gonzaga now. What are you doing? This kills the vibe. And he goes, well, I like Houston. And so, of course, it ends 5, and he gets screwed, and we're like, screw you. Yeah. How dare you? How dare you go against us? What is wrong with you?
You can't go against
But, he didn't know. He doesn't know the quirks of that. What was the other? He also doesn't know that, like, the apps are just, they're further ahead. Like they're actually live. Whatever you're watching on TV, DraftKings, FanDuel, they know it before it happens. Yeah. So at one point he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna hop in on what is it, like the Ducks money line." He goes, "But they're down 1-0." So I get it. I'm like, "They're not down." Son of a bitch! I'm like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? You can't say that.
You can't do that." Dude.
And then 10 seconds later, the Rangers score a goal, and you're like, "You son of a gun, bastard, you!"
Oh, so he's betting hockey and stuff. He's like, in.
At first, he was like, I'm only basketball, and then enough of hanging out with us. He's like hockey. He's got some baseball. Yeah,
he's in. Okay,
yeah.
Bad idea.
Oh, real bad. I was like the devil on his shoulder that day.
Yeah,
and Austin was the guy being like, you don't need that. You have vices. You already are bad.
He's got plenty of vices.
Oh, buddy, does he? Got a story about that off the air.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. But it is what it is.
You got Stone in the chat now. What's going on, Stone?
Howdy, Stoned. Sorry about yesterday. How'd the show go? Or Thursday? Good. Nice.
Yeah. Had a good time. I drank a lot of bad whiskey.
What's bad whiskey?
It was
plastic jug?
No, it's called West Cork Irish whiskey. And
I've never heard of that one.
It's not good. It's
not good.
Stone said we were up to like 50, 60 views live.
See,
so.
There you go. You get rid of me and things happen. It's me.
We've been doing well today.
Yeah.
Like I got the view count. It's been pretty good today. So.
Okay.
Jim was in the chat.
I assume Jim's in the chat.
And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the score 1260. There's something that I wanted to bring up. I wanted to talk to you about this.
Hit me.
And it's not entirely sports related. And by entirely, I mean it's not sports related at all. Except for a promotion that the Syracuse Mets are doing that we'll get into. But Have you heard about this new documentary coming out? Or it's already out about Jim Morrison?
No.
So there's this new documentary that came out, docuseries, I think it's on Apple TV Plus,
Okay.
about legendary singer from the Doors, Jim Morrison, who
Sure.
very famously died at 27 years old.
Yeah, he's one of the golden guys.
Yeah.
And a bunch of them, yeah.
Yeah. He's a member of the 27 Club, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison. Like
Yeah.
those are Amy Winehouse. Well, in this docuseries,
He's alive.
allegedly Jim Morrison is alive.
No. Really? Really?
And allegedly, Jim Morrison is a man named Frank who lives in Syracuse, New York.
Are the Mets bringing him to a game?
The Mets are holding a Jim Morrison lookalike contest, or a Frank lookalike contest. They're trying to get him to the ballpark so he can throw out the first pitch. The Syracuse Mets are hunting down Jim Morrison.
Why don't they do a sing-along? Have him sing some
They're-
tunes.
They're going to be playing Doors music the entire game. Like, they're doing like a Doors thing at the ballpark. And I think it's fantastic.
Is that a crazy conspiracy? Like,
Oh, it's wild.
he faked his own death?
There's
I mean, what
no chance that this guy, and they have a guy. They're like, that's Jim Morrison.
is he like blacked out and like a voice modulator thing?
I have not watched the docuseries. Apparently, it came out last year, and people just started talking about this. So I don't think anyone watched it.
Yeah, everyone was
because
like,
it's one of those crazy, like, yeah, Jim Morrison is alive and is a maintenance man named Frank living in Syracuse, New York. Like,
How old would Frank be at this point?
he's like 75.
I was gonna say the Doors were in like the 70s, like 60s.
60s, yeah. And it's fantastic. I'm all in. Or 81. He would be 81 years old.
I mean, if you're Frank, Jim, wouldn't you want to be in the public eye now? Wouldn't you try
That's
and
the thing.
cash in?
So the thing about Jim Morrison's death, which he is dead.
What?
I would like to throw this out there that I do not believe this man named Frank is actually Jim
The
Morrison.
hell is wrong with you?
Apparently in the docuseries, they showed a picture of Frank to two girls or two women
That's
that-
Jim Morrison.
that were like involved with Jim Morrison, and they both just like started breaking down crying because they were like, that's Jim. Okay.
Okay.
You're showing these 70-plus-year-old women this
I
picture of a
remember Jim.
like apparently it's because Jim Morrison had a mole on his nose, and
Frank's got the same
he's
one.
got a scar on his nose in the same spot where his mole was. So it's like, oh, he had the
Gotta
mole
remove.
removed. Like, I don't know, man. But
Did the-
yeah, so this is a thing.
Did the Doors continue touring after Morrison died?
No.
So that would be great. He fakes his own death, moves to some bum tried, Syracuse. Nobody's gonna hunt me down here.
Yeah, I'm just Googling Jim Morrison alive. Yeah, and like there was an article on Syracuse.com, which is how I found out about it.
Recently?
Yeah, it was like a couple weeks ago.
Mhm.
And then it was just picked up by like, I just clicked on an article from the Daily Mail. It's tabloid news,
I mean, I trust the Daily Mail.
but it's just so funny. They do have a picture if you want to look.
I'd love to look.
I can't show the audience this. They're saying that guy's Jim Morrison.
That's just I mean, that's just an old man.
They're saying, yeah, they're just saying this guy, which I see it like in the eyes a little bit. Like there is a little bit of a resemblance if you imagine what Jim Morrison would look like at 81 years old.
I was saying somebody's got to be able to put that in an AI thing and tell us what Jim Morrison would look like at 81. If they put
Yeah.
in Jim Morrison at 25 or whatever,
Yeah, it's
Does Frank have any pictures of him when he was younger?
well, it says so.
Dude, come on, come on.
He doesn't have like they don't name his last name. He goes by
It's Morrison.
Frank X.
Mhm.
In Frank X's profile picture, the maintenance man is photographed with John Densmore, who was the drummer for the Doors in 2013. And
So you met him at a meet and greet. I mean, what are we
yeah,
doing here?
probably. And the article says when asked, Frank supplied a picture of himself during his younger years, sharing an old photo of a signed ID card from 1978, but they don't include the picture in this article.
So he provided it.
So
and they're not putting it out.
So he said, yeah, here's a picture of me from 1978, which shortly after Jim Morrison had passed away, allegedly.
Allegedly.
And they don't include the picture, which makes me believe that they're like, oh yeah, this isn't Jim Morrison.
Frank got a guitar at his house or something. He's still riffing a little bit.
Absolute bonkers story. That
this is the type of thing people tune in for.
Oh, absolutely. The sports, no.
Jim Morrison,
we're talking,
alive and well.
We're talking the fact that Jim Morrison is alive. And Jim says in the chat, Frank, if you're listening, Frank X.
Call in, Fatty.
If you are out there, 315-671-1260. Call in and just sing a little Roadhouse Blues for us.
Sure.
Sing a little Light My Fire. Yeah. Let's see, because that's the real test.
Oh, yeah.
You can look like Jim Morrison as much
80.
as you want.
Guys lose the voice.
You'd be able to tell. Jim Morrison has a very distinctive voice.
That's fair.
I need to hear Frank singing voice. That's the only way to solve this. Is you track down Frank X and you say, sing us a little ditty.
Give me a little Mother.
Give us something.
Yeah.
And I think that's how we figure this out. I think Frank, like I said, Frank, if you're out there listening, 315-671-1260. I would love for you to call in, and we will get to the bottom
score on the score.
Perfect.
Bang.
We will get to the bottom of if Jim Morrison is alive and well and living in Syracuse, New York.
That's crazy.
A man with zero connection to Syracuse.
I'll tell you, out of all the things when you said it's not sports related, never in my life did I think you were going to tell me that Jim Morrison from The Doors is alive.
Yeah.
What a dumb story. What a dumb.
It's so stupid, but I love it.
Meanwhile, I mean, in the hypothetical world that this is, and he's like, everyone's laughing at me now. They think they thought I was dead. They don't believe me. Like, maybe this guy's just ill. Maybe he's an old, ill man.
Well, the thing is, he doesn't go around saying he's Jim Morrison. Someone else was like, that's Jim Morrison.
Was Jim Morrison a stage name? Is that the idea?
I don't know, but it's not like he said, I'm Jim Morrison. Someone else saw him and said, I think that guy's Jim Morrison, which makes this story so much funnier that some guy was like, yep, I know who you are.
I love all the ideas of like all the famous people that, like the Tupac still alive.
Mm-hmm. He lives in Cuba.
The bad guy from Germany still alive. All those things. And it's just so fun. It's so funny to me.
The bad guy from Germany.
I don't know if I want to say it.
But
we all knew.
Yeah, but also he wouldn't be. He'd be like 130.
Well, but the people who said like he died at like 92 or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he moved to Argentina.
Yeah, like all of those things are just the funniest stories to me. That like somehow you could escape death, fake death, and then just live a life as a modest person in the middle of nowhere in somewhere in the world.
I love a good out there conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Do you know the Paul McCartney one?
No, hit me. It's a fake? It's a double?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Paul McCartney was actually hit by a car in like 1963 and died. And they got a look-alike to just play bass in the Beatles.
Those double deckers are tough to see
in
London.
What do you mean Paul McCartney died? He's one of the two that's still alive.
At what point could that have happened and nobody saw it to be like, wow, Paul McCartney? That's Paul McCartney. If you saw a guy get hit by a bus, you're walking down Essex and you see that and you're like, everyone in their mind would know who Paul McCartney is in 1963.
Or I think it was 67,
London.
I should say. Because it was
they all
after,
know who he is.
Yeah, it was after they went on Ed Sullivan and stuff. But yeah, so it was like 1967. And yeah, apparently Paul McCartney died 50 years ago. Or 60 years ago. And same with Avril Lavigne.
No.
Yeah, they say the same thing about Avril Lavigne. Avril Lavigne was replaced by a double in like 2008.
Dude, all of these are hilarious. I love them all. I want to get a double. How do I get a double?
Yeah, can we get... Stone said, I saw Avril Lavigne last year. It's her. Yeah, I think we should get body doubles. I think we need to get doubles to come in and do the show one week.
Sure.
And we'll
see if anyone knows.
Yeah. Maybe we are doubles.
Maybe I'm the devil.
Maybe
I don't even know.
the real Mark and Josh died last year, and
how would we have died? That's a fun one.
that is we'll take a break and we'll ponder the cause of our death that certainly happened, and we were replaced by body doubles.
I like that.
We do have to take a timeout. We'll be back in just a minute on the Score 1260. If you're a fan of local craft beer, the only place you need to go is Myers Creek Brewing Company with 16 brews on tap at both the Cazenovia and Inner Harbor locations. Myers Creek has the best selection of locally brewed libations in all of central New York. Want a nice hazy IPA? The Velvet Fog is a must-try. More of a traditional Pilsner, how about the Floatin' on By? And for you sour drinkers, the It Takes Blue to Mango. So crack open a cold one with the official beer of Outside the Box Score, Myers Creek.
It was cheap, fatty.
Really?
It's like $1,000 a month.
Oh wow!
For like I mean, no utilities or anything. You had to pay for all it, but it was like $1,050. And I'm like, 2-bedroom, top of the house. I'm like, kind of nice. She's like, let me have a landlord. I don't want to do landlord. I'm like, landlords are great when they're good landlords.
Yeah, when you have a good one, it's fine.
Yeah. And this lady was fine for a couple years until
the bats.
Yes. And let it be known, before the first bat weeks ago, there was another bat like 2 years ago, but it was just out in the hallway. Never came into the apartment, but it was out there. Guy came in, got rid of it, and so I'm like, there's been bats probably for years.
Yeah.
I have rabies now, Mark.
We've got a rabid Josh on the show.
Maybe that's how I died.
That is how you died.
I started puking up water and repelling it like it was the devil. And then I went into shock and rabid shock and died. I tried to eat myself and I was put down.
This first line of an article is hilarious to me. It's about the Jim Morrison thing. This is my Roman Empire right now. I just can't stop thinking about Jim Morrison. Jim Morrison died nearly 54 years ago at the age of 27. His body laid to rest in Paris, France, or so they say.
Or so they say.
That's just such a great first line. Yeah, the Syracuse Mets like trying to find Jim Morrison is so funny to me.
They gotta have a great promo. I'm excited to go to some Mets games this year.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that.
I'll see if I can hook you up.
Give me a pass. I'm here.
I'll see
really?
if I can get you a pass.
I'm on the show. I do a show. I'll talk to. Get me down in the locker room. Does that get me in the locker room?
No.
Come on. No.
Does
that get me in the radio booth?
Yeah, go up to the booth.
Evan Stockton? You say hi to Evan?
Evan is no longer part of the broadcast crew. Evan has moved on to bigger things in Michigan.
Really? What's he doing now?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
He's just
he
still
might
in
go
Michigan.
home. Yeah. So Mike's the main guy.
Yeah, Mike and Jack is the new number 2 guy.
Okay.
Good guy. I met him a couple weeks ago.
Sure.
Or last week.
Newhouse grad?
Yep, Newhouse grad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those guys get everything.
Just graduated from Newhouse too.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, did 1 year with the Fort Wayne Mad Ants, and then now here he is. And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260, and your home for all the latest Jim Morrison news.
Mark, I will say, I don't know what topic you want to bring up, but I got something.
Okay, let's hear it.
I don't think it was announced when you brought it last week on the show. Big returning stars to SU basketball this week.
Yes, yeah, I'm glad you brought this up. I did want to talk about this. So, the portal was not so kind to Syracuse at first.
Yeah.
Chris Bell transferring, which I think Jim's throwing a party. We're all invited, but I think Jim's throwing a party tonight at his house to celebrate Chris Bell transferring. Kyle Cuff, which was surprising, given that like 3 days prior, he said, yeah, I plan on staying. So I talked about that a little bit last week. And Elijah Moore transferring.
That's a tough one. That's Choppa leaving.
Yeah. And Chance Westry announced he was leaving.
Which makes more sense.
Yeah, he played 10 total minutes, I think, in his 2 years at Syracuse. Former top 40 recruit in the country. I wish him all the best. I hope he can get healthy and actually perform somewhere.
Yeah.
But Chapa leaving was the big blow. And I said on Twitter, I hope I'm wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised if Freeman was next.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, he wasn't.
Yeah.
J.J. Starling and Donnie Freeman electing to stay at Syracuse next year, which is huge for this team. Jim says he will miss the Mark versus Bell rebounding problem. That one of the great segments in this show's history. Every SU game, who's gonna have more rebounds tonight, Josh and I or Chris Bell?
Yeah. It was a 50-50 problem.
Yeah, it was. It was closer than it should have been. And so Portal not too kind to us, but
yep.
JJ, Donnie Freeman coming back, that's huge. With Sadiq White and Kyan Anthony and Luke Fennell all coming in next year, pairing them with JJ and Freeman is big. I saw Johnny was in the chat earlier, and he's not going to like how I'm talking positively about JJ Starling because he's not a JJ fan. But
what is there to hate about Starling this year? I mean, he had to have averaged more than 20 a game.
Yeah, it was like 19. I think he averaged. I think JJ Starling's a really good player. I loved him when he was in high school.
Yeah,
I saw him play as a sophomore at Beeville, and I was like, that guy's really good.
Yeah,
and I was really mad when he chose to go to Notre Dame originally, but thank God he came here.
He's a senior next year. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So right now things look pretty good. And then they also got center from UCLA, who William Kyle III.
Oh,
now didn't play much at UCLA, really.
Okay.
I mean, he was coming off the bench, played 9.6 minutes per game.
Okay.
But
7-footer?
No, he's only 6'9".
Oh,
but he's got a 7'3" wingspan.
Okay.
And a 44-inch vertical.
Christ.
The guy is an athlete.
Okay.
There isn't much tape on him from UCLA, but he played at South Dakota State the year prior. So this is the second time transferring. He averaged 13 points, 6.5 rebounds, an assist and a half, and a block and a half in 27 minutes per game. So not even playing like huge minutes. He's very athletic. He's a great rim protector. He is a really good defender, and
13 points they bet either.
Yeah, and is efficient from, in close. He shot 60% from the field. Now, something that SU fans will not be surprised at, he's a terrible free throw shooter.
Well, I mean, big guys. I mean, you got to admit they're bad.
57% from the free throw line.
That's fine.
And he shoots free throws one-handed.
What?
Yeah.
Mark, see, those people, if you're bad doing it the wrong way, if a guy shoots it grandma style, but he's 91%.
Rick Barry.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Do it. If you're doing it the wrong way and you still suck.
He shoots free throws one-handed. It's okay. SU's a bad free throw shooting team anyway. But just once, I would like one of the guys that comes here to be really good at shooting free throws.
You need a guy. You need a guy late in games, close things out.
We had Gerard. It was nice.
Yeah.
He was shooting 90%.
You see it in the tournament now.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it. This is where it matters. Hopefully where SU's playing next year. Stuff like this, moments like this.
But he's a rim protector. He's athletic, and he's just all around the type of guy that you want down low. Like I said, 6'9" is not huge.
No.
Lampkin was 6'11". Naheem McLeod was 7'4".
Love McLeod.
But they're gone. So we needed someone down low. And so we get a stretch five who is going to protect the rim. And if you give him the ball, he can score. He's not a score first guy.
Yeah.
He's a defense guy, which is what Syracuse needs.
Do you see any more moves on the front for SU in the transfer portal here?
Well, they're going to have to. I mean, they just right now just don't have enough players.
Yeah.
So we still need to hit the portal pretty hard.
It's a tough recruiting process. It's not like football, where like football now you're getting buzz. I mean, did you guys talk about the potential spring training games with Colorado?
Yeah, I brought it up.
It was probably really early in the talks.
Yeah, it was denied yesterday.
What?
the NCAA opposed the waiver
Why?
because the NCAA hates fun.
What the hell? Is it just because normally teams don't do stuff like that?
I guess there's no reason that this can happen. You cannot sit here and tell the NCAA, there's no way they can find a good reason for this not to happen.
It ain't a travel restriction. You got ACC teams playing in California.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's nothing going on there.
So they wanted like 3 joint practices and then to play a scrimmage against each other. Jim says a competitive advantage. For what? When else are Syracuse and Colorado going to play? Like, it's a scrimmage.
Dumbest thing.
Yeah.
Other teams could do it. Why don't you just make it available for other teams to do?
Yeah.
This should be NFL teams do it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like it. I wish this could happen because then you have 2 of the most electric coaches in college football. You throw it on ESPN. Everyone's going to watch it.
Right. And it's fun. It's fun as hell.
It's fun. And the NCAA hates fun.
That would have been big for SU.
That would have been huge.
Because they're already getting the buzz. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's easy. Like, you could actually get, like, some pretty big transfers coming to SU now, in my mind, in football, where, like, you know, a guy in the SEC playing at a good school down there was like, I could go play in a good SU full team and be, like, the guy.
Yeah.
And annihilate ACC talent most of the year.
Yeah.
I could really do some things for myself. Basketball doesn't have that pull as much, I feel like.
Not right now.
Cuse. Yeah. You're not getting those types of transfers. You're getting the D2, high D2 guys.
Yeah.
And, you know, lesser D1 programs.
Hopefully it changes. Hopefully, you know, I would, but they got to hit the portal hard this offseason.
Yeah.
And I still would like another point guard. Luke Fennell is, you know, he should be good. He's a freshman. So who knows?
What about your guy?
He's gone.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Carlos is gone. That was the last of his eligibility.
Oh, okay.
So I'd like them to get another guard. I would like another big man.
Yep.
I'm fine with playing Freeman as a stretch 5, especially with Sadiq White coming in playing power forward. But you know, a little more size probably wouldn't hurt. I mean, Donnie's 6'10", he's big, but a little more mass, I should say.
Totally.
Down low would be nice. So,
you know, Mark, if you're looking for up-to-date ACC transfer portal news, there's one spot you got to go.
Where's that?
Donna's
all over it.
She's running a Google spreadsheet updated live with every ACC transfer portal move.
Yeah.
Fantastic resource if you're interested.
Yeah.
Daily updates.
Donna is
minute
all
updates
over it.
for anything that happens.
Jim says, does Freeman want to play the 5? Who knows?
Does he want to play at all? I mean, at least he wants to play. That's something we learned.
We do know he still wants to play for Syracuse now, which is good.
And now you're probably like, all right, fine, he sat out. Like, it would have sucked if he sat out for the year and then left. That would have been like, damn. But at least now you're like, well, he rested. He truly didn't want to push it, and he's still giving his time to SU, so I'm happy.
I still would have liked if SU didn't do the day-to-day BS for 3 weeks.
Well, yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, Freeman's day-to-day.
Say he's got a broken ankle.
Yeah, it clearly was like a broken foot or something. He had a boot. It was, but yeah, he's day-to-day. Come on, stop pulling that stuff with us. It's no fun. Yeah, so that's big SU news, and hopefully more to come. Like you said, follow Donna on Twitter, Donna Datota, and she's got all the updates that you could possibly need.
She's great.
She is great. Love Donna's work. Got to take a time out. We'll be back in just a minute here on Outside the Box, where your home for local sports in Syracuse on The Score. For the best local beer in Central New York, the only place you need to look is Myers Creek Brewing Company, with 16 different beers on tap at both the Inner Harbor in Syracuse and the Palace that is the Cazenovia location. Myers Creek has something for everyone. Want a bite to eat? Both locations feature a kitchen with delicious pizzas, some of the best wings in Syracuse, and much more. Make sure to check out our friends at Myers Creek Brewing Company, the official bar of Outside the Box Score.
You do it in the right way.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a healthy one.
Jim says, technically, aren't we all day to day? True, I guess.
I like that. Who do you like in the games today, Mark?
I was about to ask you the same question. Johnny said he likes Texas Tech earlier.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah,
I do.
Florida's just so deep, man. It's hard for me to bet against Florida. They've got like 9 guys that
Yeah.
can all do the thing.
The
like,
problem for me is I don't know that Tech can keep up scoring, but I mean that second half they came back against Arkansas. And
Yeah.
really looked good. But Arkansas is a much different team.
Yeah, they
Arkansas,
are.
they're like the one SEC team that preaches defense.
Mhm.
They're in my mind they were a defense first team.
Yeah.
SEC Florida not defense first. They're gonna
No.
run you.
Yeah.
I don't know if Tech will keep up with that.
Yeah.
But I like 7. 7's a good number.
7's a good number. Yeah.
Same with the Duke Bama spread. I think I like Duke, but I just like points. Just give me points.
Yeah, I
Duke's
just like
gonna put up
points in that
90,
one.
and
Yeah.
Alabama will too.
I like points in that one. It's such 174.5. That's not even the highest Bama over that I've taken this year.
Oh yeah.
There was remember the one that was like
181.
Yeah, I was gonna say 181, 182. I think 7.5 might be a lot of points.
They've just dominated people. Though.
I know, but in a real shootout against
True.
Bama, that's what this is going to be, is an absolute shootout.
True. I mean, they didn't cover against Arizona.
Yeah, they didn't.
So
I think 7.5 might be a lot of points.
I lean Duke, I think, but yeah.
Jim says, "Are you missing the Cinderella team, or like that it's only the big boys?" There isn't as much juice. I mean, we got. In the Elite Eight, we got a 1 versus a 2, a 1 versus a 2, a 1 versus a 3, and a 1 versus a 2.
I think there has to be a different storyline because there is no fun. This team doesn't deserve to be there. The closest is Tech, and even that, it's like they're like the best Big 12 team this year. Are they really a Cinderella? No.
Yeah.
But I think that's an interesting story. I think Duke being the best team of all time is an interesting story.
Yeah, that's where the story is Duke's dominance.
And then I think Sparty. That's the story.
Yeah. And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260. Just want to quickly tell you about our friends at Myers Creek Brewing Company.
Oh.
You got 2 locations, Josh.
There's the Palace.
Yep, out in Cazenovia.
And then what's the other one?
The Inner Harbor, here in Syracuse.
That place is nice.
Beautiful location. Both locations are great. They got 16 craft beers on tap.
16?
16 delicious
all
craft beers. I was just a couple weeks ago. I wasn't able to go to trivia this week, but last time I went a couple of weeks ago, they had it was called the Naughty Shamrock.
Ooh.
Delicious Irish red ale, and I'm a sucker for an Irish red.
You love an Irish red.
And I would say this even if they weren't sponsored, that might be my new favorite one.
You know the best part about Myers Creek? They rotate the beers. They got such a large selection, and you go in one week to the next, and there's always something new to try.
Yeah.
That's the best part. That's what a brewery needs to have.
They keep 16 on tap. They've got like 50 beers.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many.
Yeah.
And you can grab a 4-pack. I mean, you find the 4-packs now all over the place. They're in Tops, Wegmans. You can drink it at NBT Bank Stadium. You can drink it at the JMA Wireless Dome. They're everywhere.
Yep.
And all their beer is delicious. Their food is phenomenal. Award-winning wings.
Truly.
Literally named the best wings in Syracuse a couple of years ago. Pizza's
with good reason.
Fantastic. I love the mac and cheese. I talk about it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Great beef on wax sandwich. Delicious food, delicious beer. Make sure to check out our friends at Myers Creek Brewing Company. Like I said, 2 locations. The Palace out in Cazenovia and the Inner Harbor here in Syracuse, the official bar and beer of Outside the Box Score. If you're a fan of local craft beer, the only place you need to go is Myers Creek Brewing Company with 16 brews on tap at both the Cazenovia and Inner Harbor locations. Myers Creek has the best selection of locally brewed libations in all of Central New York. Want a nice hazy IPA? The Velvet Fog is a must-try. More of a traditional Pilsner, how about the Floatin' on By? And for you sour drinkers, the It Takes Blue to Mango. So crack open a cold one with the official beer of Outside the Box Score, Myers Creek.
$700 each.
Okay, yeah.
We were going from 400 each before.
Yeah.
So big jump. Just gotta, maybe Jim, anyone hiring in Syracuse, anybody, reach out.
Anything, please.
Literally anything, except for The same cousin I was telling you about offered me, you people know me now for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, how do you think I would do as a corrections officer in the jail? That's what he talked to me about. And I was like, yeah, I don't think that's for me.
You would fold like a cheap suit so quick.
Oh, yeah. And he goes, Josh, you're a big guy. And I'm like, I hear you. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I'm a pussy. I told him. I told this sheriff guy, I'm like, yeah, I appreciate it. I'm kind of a pussy.
You are, yeah.
And he was like, what do you mean? You start at, 65 and then it goes up first year, second, and he's talking all about the money. I'm like, that sounds great.
I'm a pansy.
I'm a little boy and in heart. And then, yeah, I was just like, no.
That would not work.
No, it's not for me.
Yeah, no.
He's like, you'd be fine. They're going to kill you? I'm like, they could.
Probably.
They could. And he goes, no, they're not. Nobody's going to kill you. It's county jail. And I'm like, there's criminals down there. They're criminals. They're bad people. And he goes, you're like 6'2", 270, like you're a big guy. I'm like, I don't care. I mean, what, every guy is 5 foot that's getting arrested? Sure, maybe. Until Big Johnny comes in and he got pulled over for doing something. He's going to kill me.
And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260. Wrapping up another fun-filled hour with Josh Boheim here.
Oh, yeah.
Glad to have you back, buddy.
It's a great time.
Anything else on your mind? What do you got?
Should there be? I don't know.
Just anything you want to talk about. We only got a few
ATP
minutes
Miami.
Oh, there you
it's
go.
a Masters 1000 series.
Mm-hmm.
Wrapping up the U.S. swing here. Indian Wells last tournament, and then now Miami. The guy, he's back. The GOAT, looking to get one more Masters 1000s under his belt at least. He's such a tricky guy this year, Djokovic, because it's like, does he want to win if they're not majors? Who knows? Sometimes he shows up, sometimes he doesn't. Betty, he showed up this tournament. In the quarterfinals, he dusted Christ, I forget the name. He dusted him 2-0. Musetti, that's who he beat, who's a top 25 player in the world. Then last round, 2-0 Dimitrov, top 10 player. And now he was supposed to get Taylor Fritz if Fritz did his job and beat Jacob Mensik, 50 in the world from Czech Republic. But no, Fritz blew it, lost 2 tiebreakers, and lost in a third set last night. So Djokovic will now probably walk to his 20-somethingth, I think, Masters 1000. So that's a fun thing today if you're trying to, get something in between the basketball or before the basketball starts. Probably a 3 o'clock start.
Something else fun today, if you want to stay tuned right here on the Score 1260, 4 o'clock first pitch, 3:50 pregame.
Ooh.
Syracuse Mets.
Opening day?
No, opening day was yesterday. They're currently in Worcester, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Home opener coming up on Tuesday the 1st against Scranton Wilkes-Barre. So on the road in Worcester. 4:05 first pitch, 3:50 pregame right here on the Score. I'll be with you for that one as well. So a lot of me in the Score 1260 studio today. So I'll be board hopping, producing that game. You'll hear my updates, do a little bit in the post-game show. Stone says, Worcester, Mass, stand up. I appreciate you pronouncing it correctly. People butcher that.
That's the Worcester one, right?
Yeah, Worcester. A good friend of mine went to WPI, Worcester Polytechnic Institute. So I'm very familiar with the town of Worcester, Mass. Great town. Really, really nice town. I've been a couple of times. They're playing the Woo Sox.
Nice.
Today, 4 o'clock. Stone says it can be a nice town. Well, I've never had a bad experience there. I did have a bad experience in Greenfield, Massachusetts, when I got pulled. When I got pulled over for going the speed limit, and the cop said, "Why aren't you going faster?" Sir, it is 1 o'clock in the morning. My headlights aren't very good, and this is a very windy road. That's why I'm only going the speed limit.
Yeah,
that was Stone says Greenfield sucks. There's nothing out there for anybody. Yeah, I went to see a movie in Greenfield, Massachusetts. Shout out Big Time Adolescence on Hulu, the movie that I'm in.
Yes.
Was able to see that on the big screen in Greenfield, and then got pulled over leaving the theater. It sucked.
Sir, I'm an actor. You know me?
Well, the cop did not believe me. He's like, "What are you doing out here?" We're like, "We saw a movie." "What movie?" "Big Time Adolescence." "Why'd you see it?" "We're in it." "What?" Yeah. We're extras in the movie. Did not believe us for a second. That's going to wrap up the show. We'll be back next week, same time, same channel, 11 a.m. right here on the Score 1260. Thank you, Josh. Thank you to everyone in the chat. We'll see you next week. Peace.